So today we're looking at the all-new Galaxy Tab A8 by Samsung. It's got a little bit larger screen than the previous version at 10.5 inches. Screen resolution is 1920 by 1200. The storage options are 32 gigabytes, 64 gigabytes, or 128. Current pricing starts at $230 in the United States, but I'll leave a link in the description of the video with current pricing and more information. This one's got an octa-core Unisoc T618 processor. It also has 15-watt fast charging. It also comes with Android 11. You get 3 gigabytes of RAM with 32 gigabytes storage, 4 gigabytes of RAM with 64 or 128 gigabyte storage. It also takes a micro SD card up to 1 terabyte. You've got the same 7040 milliamp hour battery as the Galaxy Tab A7. It's got 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 5.0, and then you have 3 different colors: gray, silver, and pink gold. You've also got Face Unlock and Knox security, 8 megapixel rear facing camera, 5 megapixel front facing. You've still got 4 stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos, and luckily you still get a headphone jack with this one. And then it weighs in at 1.12 pounds. So very similar specs to the previous Galaxy Tab A7. Inside the box, you get a USB-C to USB-A charging cable, and then a pretty typical USB-A wall adapter. And then of course, quick start guide, micro SD card removal tool or SIM card removal tool, depending on which version you get. Pretty familiar metal design there on the back. You've got a round rear facing camera this time instead of the square version. Power and volume buttons there on the right hand side. On the other side is your micro SD card tray or SIM card, depending on which version you get. Then you got speakers on each side. You've also got your headphone jack on the bottom, along with the USB-C charging port. Now, if you like tablets, phones, and other tech, consider hitting that subscribe button. I try to cover as much on the channel as possible, and I'll be posting more videos this year than ever before. Pretty even bezels here all the way around. Again, very similar to the Galaxy Tab A7. Now, when setting up, you're gonna get face recognition, pattern, PIN, and password. As you can see, nice new colorful wallpaper here. When swiping left on the home screen, you're gonna get the Google News feed. And then here it is next to the Galaxy Tab A7. Just to give you a quick size comparison, as you can see, they're pretty much the same size. And then just slightly different here on the back. Swipe up from the home screen, you're gonna get all your built-in apps. You've got a handful from Samsung, Google, and a few from Microsoft. It also lets you uninstall some of those apps if you don't want them. That's always nice to see. Up in the notification shade, you're gonna get most of your basic stuff like Wi-Fi, sound, Bluetooth, auto rotate, airplane mode, power saving mode, location, screen recorder. You've also got quick share and smart view. Then there's nearby share, eye comfort shield, dark mode, do not disturb. Then you've also got call and text on other devices, Dolby Atmos, and you've also got scan QR code. You can also add sync, secure Wi-Fi, bedtime mode, focus mode, and kids. Then you've also got adaptive brightness as well. Unfortunately, it's already used 45% of the 32 gigabyte storage. I always recommend at least 64 gigabytes when you're buying any device. I decided to go with 32 gigabytes. I know, apparently I like to live on the edge. This is currently on Android 11, One UI 3.1. I'm pretty sure this is gonna get Android 12 fairly soon though. Some of the advanced features you get on this are call and text on other devices, and then you've also got multi-window for all apps, and show apps in landscape mode. You've also got double tap to turn on the screen, double tap to turn off. You can also cover the screen to mute or swipe your palm to capture a screenshot. On YouTube, you're gonna get 1080p resolution. Weird thing is, you only get SD playback on Netflix, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's updated later. I've actually seen that change from SD to Full HD on one of my Lenovo tablets after it did an update. Even though this doesn't have Samsung DeX, you can still connect this to a Bluetooth keyboard and add a mouse to get things done a little quicker, whatever you gotta do to multitask a little easier. I'm definitely gonna be doing a comparison along with some other tablets as well. Let me give you a quick sound test just so you can see what the speakers sound like. In this video, we're we're gonna look at the X-Sound Mega by Tribit. It's a 30-watt Bluetooth speaker with stereo sound with an 8,000 milliamp hour battery. Gonna give you up to 20 hours playtime. Okay, so yeah, really nice loud speakers on here, as expected. Pretty similar to the Galaxy Tab A7. Now in the camera app, you've got portrait, photo, video, and more. Then you've got Pro, Panorama, Food, and Hyperlapse. As far as video resolution, you get full HD at 30 frames per second on the front-facing and rear-facing cameras. Resolution on the camera actually doesn't look too bad. Shutter speed is fairly decent as well. Let me give you a few samples of photos and video just to give you an idea of what to expect. So yeah, I could tell right away, photos on this tablet definitely could use some improvement, especially for a tablet that's coming out in 2022. I would say you could use this for Zoom meetings, but unfortunately the front-facing camera is worse than the rear-facing camera. You'd think they would have made it the other way around considering everyone's doing video conferences lately. But yeah, I really can't think of a lot of positive things to say about the cameras on here. I'll let you decide just from seeing these samples. Good thing is, I don't think most people are buying tablets to use specifically for the cameras. Performance-wise, it's going to be very similar to the Galaxy Tab A7 as far as Geekbench testing goes. You got 365 on single-core scores and 1245 on multi-core scores. You get HD graphics with high frame rates on games like PUBG Mobile. Asphalt 9 plays pretty smooth on here as well, even when connecting an Xbox controller through Bluetooth. As you can see from this game footage, the tablet has plenty of power to run most games and was actually better than I expected as far as how the games look, how smooth they ran, plus the tablet doesn't seem to overheat or anything, and luckily didn't have any glitches in my testing. Good thing is the battery life on here is pretty good as well. It lasted about 7 hours in my battery drain test on full screen brightness, so you shouldn't have any problems making it through the entire day, whether you're playing games, watching movies, reading books, or just browsing online. So I feel like overall I like what I see so far on this more affordable Samsung tablet, but the question is going to be, should you upgrade from the Galaxy Tab A7? And obviously that's going to depend on how you plan on using this tablet. I feel like if you already have the Galaxy Tab A7, this is going to be very similar, but I'll be doing a direct comparison within the next day or two to find out just how close these two really are. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.